Hi there. For this video, we'll be discussing about the midpoint of or midpoint given 2 points. So for question of the day, given this 2 points out here, as well as this line segment, how do we find the point in the middle or the midpoint such that this line segment is equidistant, or rather these distances are equal. So that is our main goal for this video. And yeah, but first let us define what a midpoint is. So a midpoint, or you could view it as middle point, is a point in the middle of 2 points. So assuming that it's this one, say M, such that it bisects this line segment, or again, it divides this line segment into 2 equal parts. So given this, we're gonna be going back to the Cartesian plane and try to figure out how can we determine the midpoint if we have 2 points in the Cartesian. So fortunately, we have a formula for this one. So the midpoint formula is given by this out here, wherein the x coordinate is equal to this one, x sub 1 plus x sub 2 all over 2, and the y coordinate is y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. So let's try to grasp how this formula appeared, or where it came from. First, since we know that our goal is to find the midpoint here, and we're given 2 points there, the best way to determine the middle is to get the middle of each coordinates. So for x sub 1 and x sub 2, we try to find this middle out here, and the same goes for y sub 1 and y sub 2. So this is our goal. And take note that in real numbers, say if we have 1 and 5 and we try to find the number in the middle of them, what we do is we simply add these two numbers. We have 1 plus 5, and we divide this by 2, or it's like getting the average of two numbers. This will give us 6 over 2, or 3. So we know that the number in the middle of 1 and 5 is 3, which is clearly true. So applying that same idea to find this middle coordinates, then we simply have here x sub 1 for this one, and x sub 2 for this one, all over 2 to get the x coordinate. And the same idea applies in getting the y coordinate. So that is how we obtain this midpoint formula. It's just like getting the middle of each coordinates. So don't forget this formula, as we would be using this in the following examples later on. Actually, let's copy it so we have a reference later. Let's go on to this first example. We are tasked to find the midpoint between the point A with coordinates 4 and 5, as well as B with coordinates -1 and 1. So again, let's paste the formula out here. Let's put it out. There. So to solve this, let us first start by plotting the given point so we can easily visualize what is happening out here. So first, plotting 4, 5, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's here. For the next one, for the point B, then we have the x coordinate is -1 and the y coordinate is 1, so it's around here. And let's try to draw a line segment out here. There. So our goal is to find the middle of this line segment. Using the formula, we have the midpoint is given by x sub 1. So let's set x sub 1 and x sub 2, y sub 1 and y sub 2. So we can set this to be x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, and y sub 2. So plugging that in, we have x sub 1, 4, plus x sub 2, so that's -1, all over 2, comma, y sub 1, plus y sub 2, all over 2, and there. This is equal to, we have 4 minus 1 is 3 all over 2, and 5 plus 1 is 6. Divide that by 2 and we'll have 3. So the midpoint for this one is given by this coordinates. So if we try to plot that, see, this is around, the x coordinate is 3/2, or that is 1.5, so it's around in between 1 and 2, so around here. Then the y coordinate is 3, so it's this one. So it should be around here. There. Yep, so that is the midpoint for this problem. So let's go on with this next example. Let's first box this one. So our goal now here is to find the midpoint between points C and D, wherein the coordinates are given by first -5 and 6. Then next we have 3 and -4. So similar to the first one, we try to plot these points in our given Cartesian plane. So first, for point C, the x coordinates are -5, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for the y coordinates, or y coordinate, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So again, if you are having confusion in this and how to plot points, you may check out my video on plotting points on the Cartesian plane. So I'll probably link it around this one. So the point C is around here. Yeah. Next, for the point D, we have the x coordinate to be 1, 2, 3, and the y coordinate to be -4, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the point is around here. Let's try to draw a line out here. So there, assuming that this is correct. And our goal is to find the midpoint of this line. So just applying the formula, but first setting x sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 1, and y sub 2. We have here x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Note that, again, you can interchange these two. So you can put the x sub 2 rather here and y sub 2 out here. As long as x sub 2 and y sub 2 are together and you don't interchange the x and y's. So you can't interchange this two. So applying this to our given, so we know that the midpoint is given by x sub 1 is negative 5 plus x sub 2 is 3 all over 2, comma, y sub 1 is 6 plus y sub 2 is minus 4 all over 2. Yep, and this will give us the midpoint to be negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2 all over 2 is negative 1, and 6 minus 4 is 2 all over 2 will give us 1. Therefore, our midpoint is given by this out here. So, plotting that one, we have here negative 1 for the x coordinate and 1 for the y coordinate. So it's somewhere around here. So I think it's fairly correct or fairly accurate in our figure that the midpoint is correct. If you want a more accurate figure in this one, you may try to plot these points in graphing calculators such as Algebra or Desmos. To end this, here are some exercises that you can work on in trying to practice your skill in finding the midpoint given 2 points. So for this exercise, your goal is to find the midpoints of the following. So we have 2 and 5, 3 and 4, the points 7, 9, 6, 7, and lastly, these 2 points out here. So again, just don't forget the formula. The formula is given by x sub 1 plus x sub 2 all over 2 and y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. There. And just set the points like this one, x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2, and just plug it in this formula. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this one and you learned from this one. Feel free to comment down below any comments, suggestions, and recommendations that you have for our future videos. In the next video, we'll probably be discussing about the slope of a line. So that's it, and that's all for this video.